Okay, think about your online life like it's your house. You've got a lock on the front door, right? And that key, well, that's your password. But here's the crazy part. For most of us, that's the only lock we have. Just one. So today, we're going to talk about two-factor authentication. It's basically about adding a second, totally different kind of lock, and why that's not just a good idea anymore, it's absolutely essential. Let's dive in.
So, let me just ask you straight up. Is that one key, that one password, really enough to protect, well, everything? Your emails, your bank account, your photos? I think we all know the answer is a big, fat no. And we're about to see exactly why.
Yeah, this is what's known as the one-key problem. It's pretty straightforward, right? When you have a single point of security, you also have a single point of failure.
You know, your password really is just that, a single digital key. And if someone gets their hands on it, well, there's nothing else stopping them from walking right into your digital room and getting access to everything. We're talking private messages, photos, even your money. It's a simple and honestly kind of terrifying single point of failure.
And it's not like stealing this key is some impossible mission for hackers. We're not just talking about someone guessing password 123. They've got all sorts of tricks up their sleeve, like phishing scams, where they trick you into just handing it over, or data breaches, when a company you trust gets hacked and millions of keys get stolen all at once. Or they just use what's called a brute force attack, which is like relentlessly hammering on the lock until it breaks. The bottom line is, no matter how they get it, once they have that one key, that door is just wide open.
Okay, so if one lock is clearly not enough, what's the answer? It's actually really simple. You add a second one. And this right here is the core idea behind what we're calling the two-lock solution, or as you probably know it, two-factor authentication, 2FA for short. And this just lays it out perfectly. Look over on the left. Hacker steals your password, your single key, and boom, they're in. Game over. But now, look at the right side. This is the world with two locks. The hacker might steal your first key, the password, but then, bam, they hit a second, totally different lock. The door is still shut tight. Why? Because they don't have that second key, which in this case is a code that only gets sent to your phone. Suddenly, that stolen password is basically useless.
And let me be clear, this isn't just a nice little theory. It is incredibly effective in the real world. Think about it. The chances of an attacker stealing your password and also getting their hands on your physical phone at the same time, it's extremely unlikely. That simple second lock makes your account so much safer.
And this is a really important but, not all second locks are created equal. The real magic of 2FA is hidden in that word factor. So what exactly are these secret factors? Let's break it down.
See, a factor isn't just another step in the process. It's a completely different category of proof. You're proving who you are in totally different ways. It's not about having two regular keys. It's more like having one key and also knowing a secret handshake.
And really, there are only three types of these factors. First up, you've got knowledge. That's something you know, like a password or a PIN. Then you have possession. That's something you have, a physical thing like your phone or a USB key. And finally, there's inherence. That's something you are. Think your fingerprint or face scan. Real, true two-factor authentication happens when you combine at least two of these different categories.
Okay, pay close attention here because this is super important. On the top, you see what valid 2FA looks like. You've got your password, that's knowledge, plus an SMS code sent to your phone, that's possession. Two different categories, that's strong. But now look at the bottom. A password plus a security question, like what was your mother's maiden name? Well, both of those are things you know. They're both in the knowledge category. A hacker who finds your password can probably find that answer online too. That's not real 2FA. That's just a weaker two-step verification. All right, so now we know. We need a second lock, and it has to be from a different category. But which one should you actually use? This brings us to the practical stuff. Let's go shopping for your second lock.
And just like when you go to the hardware store, you'll see that not all locks are made the same. Some are good, some are better, and some are basically Fort Knox. There's a clear hierarchy here, so let's quickly run through the four most common methods, and we'll rank them from good to best, starting at the bottom.
First up is SMS, getting a code sent to you in a text message. This is probably the one you've seen the most, and look, it is way better than nothing. But it has a pretty serious weakness. It's an attack called SIM swapping. Basically, a hacker can trick your phone company into transferring your phone number over to their SIM card. If they pull that off, they start getting all your security codes.
Okay, now we're taking a big step up in security with Authenticator apps. Here's the game changer. The 6-digit code is generated right there on your device. It never travels over the phone network. And if it's never sent, it can't be intercepted like a text can. That simple difference makes these apps so much more secure. Next up, we have push notifications. You've seen these. The simple approve or deny pop up on your phone. They are super convenient, right? But they have this weird psychological weakness. Hackers can just spam you with login requests over and over and over, hoping you'll just get tired of it, get distracted, and accidentally hit approve, just to make it stop. It's actually called a fatigue attack, and it works more often than you'd think.
And that brings us to the top of the mountain, the gold standard, a hardware security key. This is a little physical device, kind of like a tiny USB stick, that you plug into your computer and tap. And here is why it is the undisputed champion of 2FA. You cannot phish a physical object. A hacker can be the best in the world, they can be sitting on the other side of the planet, and they might steal your password. But unless they can somehow reach through the screen and steal that physical key right out of your hand, they are not getting in. Period. End of story.
So there you have it. We've gone from understanding the massive problem of having just a single key to seeing the simple power of adding a second lock. And we've even looked at the different kinds you can choose from. So the only question left, really, is for you. Now that you know the difference between a flimsy screen door lock and a high-tech bank vault, which second lock are you going to choose to protect your digital life?